Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be giving a review of the Nashville MTA. It's Metropolitan Transit Authority, and it has to do with the buses that drive around Nashville. And yes, many of you may already know I don't drive because I have irrevocable nerve damage to my arms, and I can't engage in a lot of things such as strenuous heavy lifting or repetitive motion. And for that reason, I can't drive a motor vehicle, motor vehicle, or any vehicle for that matter. And really, the review I want to give is fairly good. There's been a couple negative experiences recently I was going to talk about. Well, let me talk about the positive first. The positive with the MTA, Nashville MTA, is that the buses are fairly punctual, dependable, and timely. There are some buses, though, that are notorious for either breaking down and or being late. The Nolensville Road bus, that's the one that I've had the really negative experiences on, and I lost a friendship on account of that. Don't ask me to expound on that because I wound up being late for something on account of the bus, and the person didn't believe me. The person thought I was just making excuses and didn't want to meet up with the person, but that wasn't the issue. But the thing about it is, I mean, for people that are in situations where they can't drive for whatever reason, whether it's insufficient income, they don't have the funds to afford a vehicle, or they're in a situation like me, they have some disability, which physical disability, whatever, what have you, prohibits them from operating a motor vehicle. And the Nashville bus system is really actually very good. And the one I catch consistently runs fairly pretty much on not pretty much every day. It does run, and there may be one day, maybe Saturday and Sundays a little more sporadically, but it does run really. For me, it's very convenient, and it sure beats the heck out of walking. That's for sure. But I've had a couple fairly recent experiences that were not good. Most of the bus drivers are at least passable as far as their demeanor goes, and I don't have too many problems with them. You might get someone belligerent once in a while that might act belligerent, but the thing about it is, uh, most of them are fairly amiable, amicable, friendly, and cordial. And they're not. They definitely, most of them are okay as far as their personality goes. But there was I had one couple problems in the last few weeks or so. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got on the bus over the one that I catch frequently. It was I guess you call it the number, I think it was the number 55 bus. And anyway, what happened was that when I first got on the bus, I made a joke. There was something I said something about like alrighty then instead of alright, and I felt like maybe the bus driver wasn't quite laughing with me, laughing at me. I'm like, well, what's going on? And she said, oh, just the way you said it. And it was one of the first times she actually even spoke to me. It's just a shame when the only time they'll greet you or say something to you when it's something that may have a negative connotation to it, and that's what really kind of irritated me a little. And then what happened was I made a mistake when I rang the bell, and I usually pretty much I'm cognizant of the bus that I'm on, and I know there's a difference between the 55 and 15. 55 only makes certain stops. The 15 goes to all of them. Well, I was on the 15, and I rang the bell thinking, okay, there was a stop here I can get off at. And she said something like, well, you need to read the sign. You need to read what's on the sign on the bus before going on. And I'm like, I just made a mistake. Okay, we all do it. And then there was another incident which happened very recently. And what happened was, I'm trying to get on the bus. Okay, the bus pulled in at the bus shelter downtown, right? And I hurry up, I get on very quick, and I'm putting my bus pass, my bus card into the machine. And the bus driver said to me, "Well, uh, what are you doing? You didn't give me a chance to get off and take my break." And the thing is, I explained to her. I said I was just trying. I said I'm not a mind reader. Now that might have not been the best answer. I understand that. But sometimes people just get tired of people's insolence and their attitudes. And I already put up with something kind of from one of the other bus drivers, and I felt like, well, this time I decided I wasn't going to, and I got on, and I said to someone, "Jay, do you want me to get off the bus and then put my card back on again? Would that make you guys happy?" But anyway, the thing about that is that you have some of these bus drivers that the only time they'll even communicate with you if it's something negative or disparaging they're going to say. I was trying to just get on the bus so I could get seated quickly, and maybe because it was a little chilly outside, maybe I was in a little bit of a hurry, but I didn't feel that gave her the right. For me, just because I made an honest mistake, I don't think that gave her the right to say what she said to me. And the thing about this is, on and off, there's been some problems with some of these bus drivers, and it's not as bad as when I first arrived here in 19. I arrived in Nashville in 1994, and then when I hit around the year 2000 or so, I saw an improvement with the disposition of the bus drivers. But right now, it seems like there's some. I hope this isn't a harbinger of things to come and a trend, so to speak. But anyway, the bottom line is overall the Nashville bus system is not bad in terms of the times, in terms of getting to your destination, and its reliability and punctuality. But it does have it's still, you have some of the bus drivers here and there are not really, as far as the personalities go, are not really the best. And to me, people can become disenchanted when people act a certain way. And now I don't have much choice but to ride the bus. I can't just say, "Well, Edwin, you don't like the frying pan, get out of the fire." The only thing I could do is maybe avoid those buses, the ones that those people, those two operators run. But they're one of the on the weekdays. They're riding it every weekday, and there might maybe be six. I don't know how many bus drivers are driving that particular route, but there are a number of them. But at some point, I'm gonna wind up riding with one of them. You can only avoid that for so long. So I think really the bottom line is it's all overall the system is okay, and it's definitely passable. But I think I could pass on some of these bus drivers. And then as far as my critique goes, now out of 5 stars, I give the Nashville MTA 3 stars. Well, anyway, people, this is Edwin Learnard. Until next time, stay well.